ALICIA BECK is our first finalist for this year's Teacher of the Year. She's teaching the next generation of students at the STEM Academy at Bartlett through a medium that many of them already understand and enjoy.
So I teach computer science, and I teach that through the lens of video game design and web development, mobile app development. So the class that you just saw was my game design class. So they were learning JavaScript in order to create interactive cards, which eventually will get more complex and they'll learn to make games.
She credits volunteerism as the kickstart to her passion for education.
After college, I was a mentor with the Big Brother, Big Sister program of Delaware, and it gave me the opportunity to spend time in schools, and I realized that I really enjoyed fostering relationships with students that also had a positive impact on our community.
She feels that one of the biggest keys to her success in the classroom is finding a real connection with her students, a trait she believes she shares with the other finalists and great teachers in general.
This is just a trait of all good teachers, is that they build relationships with their students. I think it's really difficult to teach students until you built a positive relationship and gotten to know them.
She's grateful to her peers for being recognized as a Teacher of the Year finalist.
It's an honor to be nominated by my peers, most especially because just to have their respect is very, very important. They're the experts and I learn so much from them, so it's an honor.
Jennifer Carter counts many things to be thankful for as a teacher at Windsor Forest High School.
I love the people that I work with. I love the students. I like the atmosphere that we are encouraged to capitalize on our strengths.
She acknowledges that communication is the key to reaching her students and that all effective teachers utilize this to enrich their classrooms.
I don't think that I do anything different than a lot of teachers. Communicate very high standards, hold them to those expectations, but also communicate with them that I am an advocate for them.
Her love of education started early, but a critical person in her college years and becoming a mother are two events that have shaped the way she teaches.
I think it kind of clicked for me a little bit when I was in college, and just when I had a professor who really instilled a love of learning and all the different things that you could do with that. And you know, once I had my children, I think it became of a bigger purpose for me too, because I always try to have the motto that I want to be the teacher that I would want my children to have.
She's overwhelmed but honored by being named one of this year's finalists.
So it's an honor. I think that I teach among a very deserving field.
Lydia Hall, a teacher at White Bluff Elementary School, is our next finalist. Her love of the classroom started at an early age, and she credits a special someone on setting her on the path to education.
My mom would be my biggest inspiration. She retired 30 years after teaching at Windsor Forest High School, so seeing the joy and the passion that she had for teaching helped me to realize that was something that I want to do.
She works to build relationships from day one with each student so that she can relate their learning to other passions that they enjoy.
I build a relationship with my kids from day one, learning them, learning what they like. Once I know them, once I know what it is that they love, I can pull that in. I can relate it to football. I can relate it to cheerleading. If they want to talk about gymnastics, whatever it is, that's how I wheel them in.
Seeing the change in the students from the first day of school to the last keeps her passion for teaching strong.
From the first day of school and by the end, to see how much growth the kids have made academically, socially, coming out of their shells.
Ms. Hall is proud to be counted as one of this year's 5 finalists for Teacher of the Year.
I mean, I'm just so honored. This is just my 5th year teaching, but just to be one of the 5 finalists of the district, I told my kids that's just, it leaves me breathless.
Joseph Johnson at Brock Elementary is our 4th Teacher of the Year finalist. His experience in the private sector has helped him as both a teacher and librarian.
I was with an internet company and I worked in Atlanta. I'm originally from here, but worked in Atlanta for about 5 years and came back, and honestly my whole family has been in education. And it's something that I've always wanted to give back to the community.
His love of technology and the opportunities it provides for engagement with students is what pulled him back into education.
I was lucky enough to be in a technology-rich school, and so I just sort of naturally gravitated toward that. And by doing that, I noticed that the students were very engaged. And that is one of the main things, is getting that engagement with our students. Teaching, has stayed the same, but at the same time, we have to change teaching in a way that really engages those students.
He's humbled with the nomination, but also remains concentrated on continuing to help the students at Brock.
It's a great honor, to be honest with you. I never had even thought that I would be able to make it to this, to the last 5. It's amazing. But I mean, the main thing is just trying to help kids. That's the main thing, and that's just what I'm concentrating on. So, I mean, I'm very humbled, definitely, by it.
Kathy Whitney from Garrison School for the Arts is our 5th and final Teacher of the Year finalist. She feels that for most of her life, she's been educating others in one way or another.
I was a counselor in training, I was a lifeguard, I worked at summer camps, and then I worked in the writing center at my college the entire time. So when I had children, I started volunteering a lot at Maggie's morning school, and it just was so much fun, and I can't imagine anything that would make a better career.
The kids are what bring her into the classroom every day with a smile.
You know, every day's a different day. You know, you're never stuck in the same whole rut, because, you know, the kids are not the same, and they all respond to you and the standards and the things that you're teaching them differently.
She'll do anything to make that connection and make a difference in a child's life.
I don't think there's anything I wouldn't do to help reach a kid. And I am pretty much the person that likes to go through art and science especially. I think my first lesson of the year is always to light up a pickle. And once you've lit up a pickle, they'll go anywhere with you.
She says the greatest feeling is to be recognized by those she works with.
But it's a huge honor, because you're recognized by your peers, especially on the school level. You know, the other teachers that I work with in this building picked me out to represent them. And since all of them are really amazing teachers, it means a lot.